we had scheduling issues, and we got him confirmed this week, and he is available to us. So thank you very much for being here. A little bit about Kobe. He's the CEO of InsurTech Israel, that established by him to promote and lead the Israel InsurTech ecosystem. The company has 4 areas of activity: investments, consulting, media, and acceleration program. All that activities make InsurTech Israel as the leading and most active company in Israel InsurTech. Kobe was the founder and the CEO of Reshaping Insurance Brokers, part of Migdol Generali Insurance Group. He has 22 years experience in the insurance industry and has a BA and management, I guess BA management, and an MA, Masters in Arts in Law from Bar Alan University. He's also a colonel in reserve in IDF. I read about him, found out about what he has done and what he's doing. There's plenty on LinkedIn, but I think what I want to do is open it up for him to say a little bit more or less about himself, and then go into the material that he's going to share with us, based on what what I know, what we've seen about him on in the profile. He's actually the right kind of person for us. There's a lot that happens in Israel in I guess startups in many areas, and that many countries want to emulate. So for us to have someone of his background and the kind of work that he does in InsurTech, I believe it's going to be a worthwhile time for opportunity for us to be here. And let's make it interactive. He's going to be with us for just the first hour, so don't wait until the end to bring up your questions and comments. So, Kobe, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ivan.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be here together with you. I have a great relationship, and a big part of my heart is belong to Africa. I really like this continent and the people of Africa, and a lot of desire to succeed. This is the reason that there is a lot of talent and entrepreneurs that willing and trying to grow from the continent in the insurtech industry. I've been in Africa in a few countries before, and I'm sure that the future is belong to the continent. So keep going with your desire. It's will worth it.
Thank you.
I've been in the you're welcome. I've been in the insurance industry for 22 years. I was a broker. I lead one of the biggest MGA in Israel. So I came with a lot of knowledge. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, okay. So I came with a lot of knowledge from the insurance industry, and after I sold my company, I start to look for new adventures, and the insurtech industry I find it very interesting for me. That's the reason that I opened InsurTech Israel, and we are leading here the flourishing and the most active InsurTech ecosystem in the world. Tel Aviv is one of the capital of the insurance industry. Actually, I have more than 225 startups.
Wow.
So you can imagine that it's a huge and active and flourishing activity. We have a lot of great success stories, as you might know, like Lemonade and Hippo and Next Insurance and Ernix, and came from Israel, came from my ecosystem. So we are we have a really great success story. This is what assists the Israeli insurtech ecosystem to grow. We base, of course, in Israel, and Israel is a very entrepreneurship country. This is in our culture to be entrepreneur, to lead things and take things forward. There is a we are saying that the Israeli people we are living in a very tough neighborhood, as you might know, and in that neighborhood you need to expect the unexpected all the time. So because of that, we have a great structure of culture that lead us to be as what people saying startup nation. Just to say a few things about the InsurTech here in Israel, and I will let you ask questions if you like. So the InsurTech here, as I mentioned, is a very huge and flourishing ecosystem. The reason for that is first because the culture that I mentioned before, and the second is because two reasons. First, in Israel, there is a lot of great infrastructure for entrepreneurs to grow. Uh, can you hear me, please? I don't know if you
Yeah,
can hear me because I can't see any faces. So it's fine even. You can hear me?
yeah, yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
I will.
fantastic. So in Israel there is a great infrastructure for entrepreneurs to grow and to succeed. A lot of capital raising up in Israel. We have a great support from the government. A lot of great talent coming from the intelligent unit in the army. All the biggest technology company around the world have R&D division here in Israel. We have a lot of support from a lot of entities around. So in Israel, the infrastructure, as I said, are really pleasant and comfort to be entrepreneur. So it's a good start for the people. The second reason is that the InsurTech, from my point of view, is not just a technology solutions. Actually, it's not technology at all. The InsurTech is a great solution for big problems, and then implement the technology to assist in the solution to assist it to operate. So because of that, and because I mentioned that we are in our culture in a position that we know how to solve problem, that's
Mm,
because of that. The InsurTech Israel ecosystem is very active because of the people here in Israel know how to solve problems. So when we see a problem, we know how to solve it, or we try to solve it. So it assists us to operate here a very good and excellent ecosystem. So this is the frame and the beginning of uh, my description about the ecosystem here in Israel, and I will be very happy to answer question about the ecosystem here in Israel, about the InsurTech in Israel, and about InsurTech around the world.
yeah, I will take the first question. Um, so as you
Let's
can
go.
imagine, sorry, yeah,
Let's go.
as you can imagine, on our continent, the the primary driver for innovation around insurance, insurtech, is the very, very low penetration. We
Mhm.
are 2%, 1%, depending which country you're talking to. Continent-wide, when you pull out the big guys like South Africa, it's actually really, really low. So insurtech is extremely attractive because it's a driver to increase adoption and coverage. In Israel, on the other hand, I don't imagine that is a driver. So what kind of problems are the Israelis that are very active in this space solving if many people have coverage? Is it about, yeah, I guess I'll let you speak to that.
That's great question, Ivan. Thank you for that. First, I know that the permutation in Africa is so low. I was so surprised to hear that. I've been in
Mm,
Lagos and I met one of the insurance company CEOs, and he told me that the permutation is less than 2%. So it's amazing. It's great to active as an insurtech in that kind of situation because you have a blue ocean to grow.
Yeah. Yes.
And I will speak about that later, for my point of view about that, but I will answer your question. The Israeli startup are not focusing in Israel insurance industry at all. We are not looking for operative, and they don't want to operate in Israel. Actually, I don't know how many people know, but in Israel there's less people than Lagos. We have just 8 million
Wow.
people in Israel. That's all. It's Israel is a small country. We actually can be a neighborhood in Cairo. So that's all. Israel is a small country, so the entrepreneur, the startups are not even considering to operate in Israel. So all the development, all the solution that we are creating is not focusing to operate and solve problem in Israel. We are focusing on solving problems around the world, and this is what makes us very active. Because if we should stay in Israel, we will not be so popular at all. But I will answer the question in other way. First, the Israel is a sandbox, is a playground for the startups. So people get to know and understand the insurance landscape from the playground, from the sandbox that we are playing here. So most of the people in Israel are covered, and all there's some insurance cover that is obligatory here in Israel.
Mm.
So you must be been covered by that. So, and the people like to be insured. I can say that they like to be insured, but they have open mind for being insured. So it's the Israeli people know what is meaning to be insured and what is meant to be to have a policy, and have the feeling and the sense about how the industry needs to adopt new technology and solution. So to answer your question, for the first stage, is the Israeli insurance industry is not interesting in the Israeli startups. So they are looking to operate abroad. They are not operating in Israel if they don't need or must to. The Israeli insurance market are very popular. They're very big and active. So people know what is mean insurance. People have the feeling and experience about all the barriers around. So have the understanding about the needs. So that is answering your question. I hope so.
Yeah.
Let
Yes.
me let me we take it to other part. The second part from your question is about the African continent. So, from my point of view, the reason that you have just 1 or 2% adoption, insurance adoption in Africa, it's a great news for the insurtech. Why? Because you don't have all the long tail of problem that a lot of insurance company have around the world. The long tail of problems and barriers make the insurtech industry very complicated to approach insurance companies. So because of that, the insurtech in Africa can jump over few generation of problems to operate. So you will not find a lot of barriers that happen around the world for insurtech startups to approach the insurance companies market just because of that. So one good reason is that the insurance industry in the Africa is blue ocean. It's open, so there's a lot of opportunity to grow. The second is that because of that, you don't have a long tail of problems that insurance companies suffering from, and it will make the life of the entrepreneurs and the insurtech very easy to approach. I hope I answer your question, Ivan.
Yeah. That's very helpful. Um, anyone want any question before we go back to Toby? Okay, let's go. We we don't have a lot of time with you, so share what you want to share, and then they'll come in. Mm.
I guess the Ivan told me that the people always asking questions, so I didn't arrange a lot of issues to speak about. But if there is no question, I will speak about a little bit about the future of the insurtech industry, not just in Israel, I think around the world, because we are really influenced about what's going on here, there in the insurtech ecosystem around the world. But just let me ask question the audience myself. How many people are entrepreneur here? Can you please tell me? You can open the microphone if
Yes.
needed.
And you can even put up your hand. Um, Everyone on these are all entrepreneurs. I'll answer that for
Really?
them. Yeah.
Okay. So, and where all of you based in where?
So
Can you repeat a question, please?
I asked
well,
I asked the people in the audience, which one of you is an entrepreneur by himself, is having a startup or idea.
yeah. How many of you?
No what? No money? Nobody?
Any one of you have? Yeah. Entrepreneurs. Are you all working for
Oh,
the big insurance companies, or you have ideas of your own?
oh, but I didn't get the question well, but I can just mention that, for example, myself, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So all of you are entrepreneurs. Yes,
So
exactly.
I'm
Okay.
an entrepreneur. I had to resign where, well, not to resign. Basically, I had to acquire a brokerage where I was heading. I was like chair. Then I then change into my ownership. So I became now the entrepreneur instead of working for the company.
Fantastic. Good to know that. I've been in Lagos 2 years ago, and I saw a lot of entrepreneurs in the fintech and the insurtech side scene. So I was really impressed about the potential that I saw. So let's speak a little bit about the future of the insurtech and the insurance world. So from my point of view, we are in the beginning of the next generation of insurtech. So until I'm calling that insurtech 2.0. So until today, the first generation of the insurtech were focused only, or most of them focused on digitize the insurance industry. So most of the startups and most of the insurance company around the world start to operate in a digitized tools to start working with the clients and interior with digital solutions. So that was a very big step forward for the industry, because until then, you know how the insurance industry operated. Most of the insurance industry around the world using technology now, using digitized solution. Some of them are in a very deep process, some of them in a very light process. But even in Africa, most of the insurance companies have something that can that we can say that they start to digitize themselves. So the first generation of insurtech is digitize the industry. It's mean UX UI, actually a tool to start conversation or start the relationship with the insurer by digitized tools. And the second issue is index the data that the insurance company have. So this is the first generation of insurtech. Because of that, Lemonade and Hippo and WeFox and Roots and other startups grow very fast, because it they were the mirror for the insurance industry, and the insurance industry need to do disruption and start operate as a digitized with a digitized tools. But actually, the first generation of the insurtech 1.0, is not a disruption at all. It's just doing the same things that they does until today in a digital in the digital tools, by digital tools, or digitize the flow and the process, but they didn't make any disruption. They are still selling the same product. They are still doing the same underwriting. They are still working on the same mindset that they operate today, just digitized steps. So from the coming months, I see more and more changes around the world. Some of the changes arrive from Israel, and the changes are going to make disruption to the industry, or will start the disruption of the industry. And because of that, I'm saying that the insurtech industry is coming now to the next generation of insurtech. The next generation of insurtech will be solution that will change the insurance world, change the product, and change the way of insurance companies is acting and operate. I can give you some example, but first, let me clarify that all of the tools are very sophisticated, and using AI and using a lot of great technology that can take the idea of insurance and make the changes. I can give you an example with great startups that came from Israel called Bina. Someone of you heard about Bina? No. Okay.
No.
But you will hear
Anyone?
about Bina. No. But you will hear about Bina soon, even in Africa, because what Bina is doing is they can assist your health, but using your camera, telephone camera. It's an amazing tool. It's like science fiction. That if you take a video, 20 seconds of your face, video of your face, they can know immediately what is your heart rate, what is your blood pressure, diabetic, what is your stress level, what is your heart rate, and a lot of knowledge about your health immediately just by using the picture of your eyes, picture of your face. And all of you have the knowledge, that the basic knowledge that can let you understand how great tool is for the insurance industry. Tools for underwriting, tools for retention, and tools for claims process. So this is a disruption, because based on that technology, insurance companies, insurance brokers, and all the players in the life and health and wellness industry will be able to cover and act automatically with the clients. We don't need any papers, not a health declaration. You don't need to send a doctor for the people. You don't need his medical record. I know that in Africa there's a big problem with medical record, because not all the medical process been written. So because of that, a lot of insurance company don't want to operate in life and health. And based on Bina, it's a huge market that will be open, because for the insurance industry now, they don't need to fill any health declaration, and they don't need any documentation of your health in the past. They know exactly what is your health now, and in a great accurate. So Bina is going to be one of the tools that will disrupt the insurance industry. That's one idea. The second idea is the embedded insurance. Have you heard about embedded insurance?
Familiar with it?
I think the people is
No.
very tired today.
They are tired. Huh?
Or fascinated, or maybe fascinated.
They're fast. I'm going to put on your camera because I control from here. So be careful. I might just pop you up, spotlight you.
No worries.
We are following up. We are following up. Only that his voice is just down.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh,
please
okay.
turn up a little bit.
Okay, I would, but you can hear me well, Ivan. That's fine.
Yeah, I can. Okay. So yeah, the question is embedded insurance. Anyone familiar with that term?
Yeah. Of course, yes. That is what we do at Insurance.
Yes.
Fantastic.
They are familiar with it. Yeah.
Yes, fantastic. So I had the sense that it's popular in in Africa, because the embedded insurance, and it's a great tool to disrupt the insurance industry. Instead of using all the distribution channels, the regular the irregular distribution channel that we use today is like insurance companies and the brokers and agents. You will use the insurance as part of your life, part of your daily activity. Because of that, the product will be changed. Instead of having life insurance and policy and health insurance policy and car insurance policy, the product will be changed. It will be a product that will cover you all the time. It will not just few policies around. You can be covered automatically all day long by only the needs that you need immediately on that time. If you don't have a if you are traveling now by train, you don't need to be covered the same like you are traveling by motorcycle. So the embedded insurance will be great tool for disruption and to adopt insurance easily by the people. So this is one kind of disruption that will operate on the insurtech next generation, or as I said, mentioned insurance 2.0. So the future of the insurance and insurtech industry is going to change to in the coming months and in years, because of the disruption that will be implemented in the industry. So this is my thoughts about the near future of the insurance and the insurtech industry.
I'm going to ask one question, and then we're going to open up for more people. So the first one that you gave, Bina Insurance, the concept one is very inviting. That one, all they need to do is take a picture of my face, and they know what I need, and they price the premiums accordingly, all those wonderful things. But the insurance also, until today, works in a model where you have the high risk people and the low risk people all together. So it's distributed. You generally, the whole idea of I pay for my own risk it works well if I don't have too much risk. But if I'm the guy who is going to have a heart attack in 3 months, and these guys look at my picture and I say, I see a heart attack, who is going to cover me? So what are the implications, ethical implications of this kind of system that essentially knows about me and is going to price my risk above what I can cover sometimes, or pay sometimes?
Yes. Yes, but because even you're really right, it's a good example. But because of that situation, the prices of the insurance, life insurance in Africa is very high, because the insurance company don't know the medical record about the people, or some of the people, and because of that they are taking the high risk that they can, instead to take the right risk that they need. And because it's very complicated and very expensive, people are not buying the life insurance. So because of few people that suffering from illness, all the majority of the people are paying a lot of money for that. So it's a great tool for growing the insurance industry in Africa, because it's let the insurance companies to reduce the cost of the life insurance, to sell the insurance policy easily, and in the right premium, and in easy underwriting for the people in Africa. Until now or today, they can't do that so easily, because they're afraid from the situation that people with illness will be covered. And because of that, you're paying a lot of money about for insurance for the life insurance. That's the reason.
So you feel the benefit outweighs the cost, because if you take for instance health insurance, on one hand my model says cover everyone, as in national insurance, and then everyone's costs will be low because you have so many people covered, and all the risk is covered. I mean, is distributed. On the other hand, figure out everyone's individual risk, and then the ones that are healthy will pay less. The ones that are sick will never be able to cover themselves because nobody will want to cover them.
Yes.
So
No,
what is that about?
I understand. I understand. Even it could be in a different way. It could be different than you describe. It can be hybrid. First, the first layer will be a government covered for everyone. Doesn't matter what is what is their situation. That's for sure. People need to be covered and get medical assistance. Doesn't matter how much money they have and how much and what is them health. It's based on the social cover that the government needs to operate. But on top of that, there is a few layers that people can buy, not must buy, and it's a private solution for people. Till today, you cannot buy it in a regular premium because there is no there is no lot of medical records about the people. So the insurance company are really frightened about that. And now because the tool, they can cover people easily and in the right and the fit premium that they need to pay. And because of that, the premium will be less, the people will be reduced, and a lot of people can buy this private policy. So because of that, the majority of the population will be covered. That will cover the hybrid from the government and from the private. It will make the life and the healthy and more healthy people in the continent.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. So
you agree,
questions?
Ivan?
Huh?
Are you agree?
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
what I said?
Yeah, it makes sense. So you have to provide the best cover, like a safety net. And then on top of that, you can innovate and provide people what they need, because the truth is the safety net can never cover everything because they won't be able to afford. But you provide something and then build on top of that. So that makes sense to me. Questions, comments by others?
That sounds good.
And that could be, it could be on this topic, or it could be on the embedded. Any comments about embedded?
Other topic.
Sorry.
So the people are shying. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. Okay, so I was very impressed about the situation in Africa, and I'm really happy to see how many people is reaching out for InsurTech. I'm really happy to be here, and you can reach me out if there is any needs for question by speaking with Ivan, and feel free to approach me anytime, and see you somewhere in Africa soon.
Yeah. Before you go, I guess I have one other question, and maybe it will trigger another question from someone. I am actually very interested, like in my other work in of course data analytics is part of the work that we do. Can you, I guess a question for you is, have you seen an InsurTech company that is doing something that's, of course, when we talk about taking pictures and figuring out what's going on inside of somebody, there's a lot of data there. But more around the traditional data analytics space, that is yeah, having traction. I would love to hear your comments about, yeah, data analytics, or yeah, AI.
Yes,
More.
that's great. I have a great example for you, and it really fit to the African market. Let me describe you one of my startup. It's called Emotion. Emotion is a startup that can assist critical weather condition 6 months ahead. Can you believe it?
What?
Yes, yes. It's not like the forecast for 5 days and 7 days.
Yeah.
They can say that in Cameroon, somewhere in
6 months.
Cameroon, 6 months from now will be a flood,
Really?
or it will be so hot that it will be a lot of dangerous to be fires, or a lot of bad things can happen in that situation. So they can assist that between 3 to 6 months ahead. Do you understand what is mean to the insurance companies and even for the people? Because if you know that flood will arriving in 6 months from now, or even 3 months from now, you can prevent a lot of damage to the population. You can do a lot of act. You can act and solve a lot of problems that can happen because of that. So this based not on a traditional station methodology station that around. This is based on an analytic, as you asked. So they can understand and predict the weather situation by using great AI machine learning solution. It's a great tool. It's coming from Israel, and it
Wow.
started to operate here in Israel, but now it's implemented around the world, and it's great tool for the humanity. If it work well for a long time, they could be even get a Nobel Prize for that, because it could save a lot of life. Yes, really,
Wow.
and a lot of property. So that
Yeah.
solution is a great solution, people. This is based on analytic and came from Israel.
Wow. So it's already deployed. It in parts of Israel.
Yes, it's working. There is a lot of farmers that use that. The UN using that.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Defense in Israel using that. The Ministry of Agriculture is using that. So it's a great tool, and it's now start to operate around the world. It's amazing tool for the humanity, and of course for the insurance industry. I think Sven have a question for me, because he raised his
Yeah.
hand.
S. Twen, is that because you have a question, or you are just saying goodbye and you're just excited? Okay.
Yes,
Anyone else
we
has a
have.
question? He's gonna go away, and then you're gonna go home with your questions.
Yeah,
Eh?
then you need to
Yes.
ask Ivan.
Good evening. I have a question, please.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hi. Good evening. My name is Sean. I'm the CEO of InsurPass. We offer embedded insurance. We're into the embedded insurance space here in Nigeria. So I want to ask, with your experience, what's the best revenue model that you can build into an embedded insurance model, especially if you're providing it in collaboration with various underwriters? Okay.
Yes.
So should you go with the model of the conventional brokerage intermediary where you earn commissions, or is there any other model you could factor into this whole embedded insurance thing?
Okay, so it's good. It's the best business model for embedded insurance supposed to be in some steps. It's not just from the start. So the first steps is to operate as an MGA. I don't know if you have the regulation to operate as an MGA. It's happened. It could be
Not at all. Not here in
not
Nigeria.
not
Yeah.
in Nigeria. So there is no option to be MGA in Nigeria. Okay, so instead of be MGA, I think the first step supposed to be as act like a digital broker, because you don't need to have a capital to be an insurer. So the first model is to get commission, as you mentioned before. It's not the best revenue model because you are just taking part of the premium, and in embedded insurance the premium is very low, so your incomes are very small. But it's just the beginning. After you will get the experience to cover and to service people by digital tools, and your growing will be very well, you can change your situation from brokers to be insurer. So for you, the best place to operate embedded insurance is to be the insurance company in the end. Of course, you can't be that from the beginning. It's very complicated to be insurance industry. It's heavy regulated company, but but in the end, this is the best path and the best situation to be. You will start in stages as a broker, and after that, and you get commission, and after that, you will get a license to be insurance company. This is the best model, and this is what happened here in other part of the world. Most of the Israeli insurtechs startups that operate as B2C, and most of the B2C are operate as an MGA, will be insurance company in the end. And that is the model that I can recommend for you. How you operate, Sven?
Yes, thank you very much. So, of course, the way we operate is through the digital brokerage model as well. But as you said, the revenue is small, because of course you have to get paid via commission. So that's why I was asking the question, perhaps if there's any other kind of model you could employ to float this embedded insurance, then aside from the fact that you can also acquire an underwriting license, to underwrite your own insurance, as seen, with many startups outside the continent of Africa.
So to bridge on the gap of a small commission or small amount of premium and the small amount of commission, in the beginning, you need to raise money from investors. But the investors' vision will be that you will be sorry, that you will be insurance company in the future. So right now they will invest money for you to assist you to grow, assist you to market yourself. They will not base and look at your incomes on that situation. So you will get money for them to operate yourself and to grow. But the vision is to be insurance company, because then if you will be insurance company and you will take the risk and you will know exactly the amount of risk that you need to take, because you have a lot of experience based off your broker in digital brokerage experience, you can occupy the market easily. It's of course it's embedded insurance. It's small and micro insurance, but you can occupy the market easily, and the continent is have a huge of people and population. So even if it's the income is very low from each policy, the amount of policy that you can sell is huge. So your income will be very big, and you can do an upsells after that. So and cross sells after that. So it's a great opportunity to market and sell more insurance. So the business model is very interesting, and even that you think different or already look for a different solution, don't look for new solution. Act like a digital broker, raise money, let the investor to have the vision that you will be insurance company in the near future, occupy the market, and be insurance company very soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um,
What else, friends?
What? Yes. And it could be a comment. Doesn't have to be a question. And enrich the discussion.
Yeah,
Good
yeah. Good evening, Kobe. How you doing?
evening. I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. So mine is not a question. It's just a comment about what you're doing in Israel. Um, one of my investors, based out in the US, attended a Shortech Connect in London. That's about a month ago, thereabout, and met with one of your startups that does something very unique. And what they actually do is that you can actually talk to a phone and request a phone to do whatever it is you want them to do. So, like for example, we have built a mobile app. We have built a mobile app that allows you pay for auto insurance per minute. And so we're trying to deploy that solution where someone can just talk to his phone and say, "Hi, I need insurance," and the mobile app is going to pop up from the phone, and the app is going to turn on. So I just want to say, you're doing a good job. I follow you on LinkedIn. I follow your articles from time to time on LinkedIn, and you're doing a good job. And I hope one of these days I'll do a pilgrimage to Israel. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the compliment. I'm trying to do my best. I know that I'm focusing on the insurtech in Israel, but actually I'm very happy to assist any region and any country. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I really like the African people. I think it's a great opportunity to the world that the Africans can bring to the industry. So good luck for you and thank you for the compliments.
Yeah.
Okay, friends, I'm really happy, and I'm saying you goodbye from the Holy Land.
I have a
Someone
quick
is
question to finish.
somebody
Okay,
has a
please.
question for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Good afternoon, Kobe. This is Achille Sime from SLDRA. I am based in Florida, originally from Cameroon. Um, I am a serial entrepreneur because this is my second startup. I have an actual consulting firm that has been operational for 5-6 years now. So, because of my training, because of what I do, I'm more interested in innovation related to the middle or back office. There's not a lot. Typically, the insurtech is toward the front office, reaching out and selling. But there's a lot of potentials also that can come from the middle office or assisting underwriters, or the back office assisting your IT regulators, etc. So my quick question is, in the ecosystem of insurtech, even in other markets, how do you see this space of the market? What are the type of innovation that you see in the middle to back office sector?
Okay, so it's a great question. Thank you for that. Uh, as I mentioned in the beginning, the insurtech industry, or the insurtech generation insurtech 1.0, has focused in on the digitized sides. So because of that, you can find many insurtech startups that are dealing with digitize the back offices. Okay, we have here in Israel, as you might know, some great startups that are doing that, from Novidea, that operate on Salesforce, for as a Novidea for the Salesforce for brokers, and we have a lot of CRMs tools and policy administrator. All of them is operate on the back side of the insurance companies or brokers companies offices. It's a great tool, but as I mentioned, the second generation will be different. The second generation of insurtechs will be different. Because of that, the back offices, it's take time. You have a lot of time to operate. But if you want to see the future of that, so there will not be back offices in the end. So you need to be to take care about that, because I know it's going to take 10 or 20 years to finish that back office's situation. It's a lot of time to operate. But if you control and if you want to be part of the next generation, you need to see how you can assist the insurance companies and the brokers, not just in the back office's solution or problem. You can maybe assist them to jump over the gap by using your tools. Uh, uh, this is one problem or one issue. The second issue is that somewhere, somehow, it's not operate now. There will be a core system, a new core system for insurance company that will replace the old and traditional ones. There is no a lot of great solution. Even Guidewire is we can say that it's an old solution right now. But somewhere, somehow, they will use different core systems, and because of that, all the back office will be operate different. Today, they need a lot of labor power because there is a lot of sources that you need to implement. But because the new technology, maybe you will maybe you will deliver it because of the new technology. They will not have a lot of problem in the back offices. So take care about that. I hope I assist you with this question.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
He just doesn't like the idea that his chosen business is going to someday be eaten up by a startup, huh?
No, he will lead. He will lead he will lead the disruption. He will take the
You better
disruption.
lead the destruction. Absolutely.
Yeah, he will lead.
Yes.
But as I said, there is a lot of room and a lot of time
Yeah.
until all this will be changed. So until then, he can make a lot of money and a lot of success. That's for sure.
Yes. And make a lot of money, and then you buy a startup, that's doing the front end.
No, you don't need to buy. It looks like he is a great success.
Yes.
I will start thinking about the next the digital chief actuary for insurance companies.
Oh, that's
Uh-huh.
fantastic. Great for you.
Okay.
Okay, friends. Other questions? There isn't any other questions or comments?
Yeah. We have
Yeah,
2 minutes. 1 minute.
yeah, I
Okay.
have a question.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
please.
so just quickly, yeah, thanks so much. Yes, so I have a question, and my question is about um the best model or the best approach to stimulating demand for microinsurance, especially for people at the bottom of the pyramid. Like, what's the best business model you would recommend for that? So, people at the bottom of the pyramid, because they are low income, they are not able to afford insurance per se. And a lot of times they are not digitally literate, but yet we're building a solution that tech will be that leverages technology, right, as an enabler for distribution of insurance product to this category of people. So what would your recommendation be?
Okay, I will try to answer that very fast. So people buy insurance if they need to buy it. I know that there is a lot of time that the salespersons or the sales divisions try to push more and more product to the clients, but in the end, people need to buy insurance when they need to have insurance. Okay, and what is mean insurance is to protect your property and you protect your financial needs. So if people don't have a property and they don't have financial needs, they don't need to have insurance. Okay, so
Yeah, so in a
if
better context, right? Agree. So looking at the agricultural sector,
Yes,
with the
that's
impact of
great.
climate change and all, so it is a need, really, not a want.
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say. But in the other hand, there is a lot of needs for insurance for to protect your property or financial needs, and because or if there is if there is will be any insurance cover, it will assist to grow the industry, not the insurance industry, the industry that it will be operated. Let's say, let's take the agriculture, the crop insurance, as you mentioned, because there is not a lot of a cover around. The farmer cannot grow because it can't take risk, a lot of risk. When they will have insurance, they can take the risk. It's assist the market and the industry, the agriculture industry to go. So, as I said, if there is a need for that, there is a possibility to sell and cover people. So the crop insurance is a great solution because there is a need for that, and the technology tools will assist that that kind of insurance cover to grow by parametric insurance. It's not just by micro insurance tools. I'm sure that you heard about parametric insurance. It solves
Yeah.
all the problems that happen in the insurance industry based on claims. Because it's parametrics, you don't need to open any claim process at all. So you will cover it and you will get the money immediately when it's happened. So because of that, the parametric crop insurance can be exactly tools to growing the crop industry around, and of course in the Africa continent, and the crop industry is going to grow around the world because the need for food. So small farmers that will have the ability to buy insurance to protect them financial needs, it will be a great solution for them to grow, to take some risk, pay for a small amount for that by buying insurance and cover themselves if needed. So the parametric insurance for crop insurance will be the great solution for that. I hope I assist you with my comments.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
You're,
Um, was
you're
there
welcome.
another? I see one last hand.
You wake up in the end.
Yes. Was that
Okay.
Domola?
Yes,
Yeah.
hi.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I actually put my question in the chat.
Oh,
So
sorry.
yes, yes. So
Okay.
speaking, hi Kobe. Speaking about parametric insurance, right? Yes, it's quite popular around the agri space, and it does help solve a lot of problems. We're seeing a lot of companies, startups here in Africa also use that, like Oko. I think I don't know. I think
Yeah,
Pulau.
Uku is Israeli company. I'm sure that you know that.
Yes, yes, Simon.
Yes, Simon.
Yes,
You know
yes,
Simon.
yes, yes. So I wanted to ask for parametric insurance, right? Are there other use cases that you're seeing within your space or across the world? I know, I don't know, is parametrics, are they using parametric insurance or, but then for parametric insurance, right? What other use cases are you seeing, or do you think it can be used within the insurance space, especially looking at the fact that looking at some of these challenges that it helps to solve in the agri space?
I think the big gap or barrier for the parametric insurance for crop insurance is not the technology, because we have the technology right now, even in the in any place around the continent. So this is not the problem. The problem is the distribution channel. Okay, because people not adopt a lot of technology around. The small farmer in the continent don't have a lot of. I know that they need to buy the telco solution, telco providers. So and you need to educate the market you need to educate and explain the farmer what is mean to have insurance. So they need to educate them to pay for that. So the barrier now is not the technology and the solution. The technology and the solution we have. The barrier now is to educate the people to buy the insurance and let them understand why it's good for them, why they need to pay money before something happen or something. Okay, they need, you know, uh, insurance is a matter of trust. This is the insurance based on trust between the company and the clients, trust between the broker and the company, trust between the broker and the client. So because of that, the barrier now is to build the trust, to educate the people to buy, trust that they will get the money when they will need it. And this is, I think, the most powerful and solution. And this is what Oko are trying to do that, and the other Okos and the other insurance company that adopt technology for crop insurance. They need to educate people to buy the insurance. After that, it will be easy because the technology and the solution is already exist.
One follow-up question on, I guess Damalo had put something in the chat. What are your thoughts about blockchain? I bring that up in the context of trust, but even beyond that, what do you say about that?
Okay, that is the last question. Sorry, people, I need to go. It's very late here in Israel, but then I need to go. It's easy answer for that question because I don't know what is blockchain. It's like buzzword for me. I don't think that there is a lot of people that really know what is blockchain. It's more than a buzzword. But the internet was a buzzword 25 years ago. So I'm not saying that just for laughing. I really don't know what is mean blockchain. I don't know if there is a lot of people that really know what is blockchain. But in the end, maybe it will be changed the way of people doing business and using technology. I don't know. I don't know exactly what is blockchain. It's a buzzword for me. Sorry for saying that, but this is the truth.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
very
welcome,
much.
my friends. See
Yes.
you from the Holy Land, and see you soon here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Bye bye. Bye, my friends.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Yeah. So we have a little bit of time, and I wanted to make sure that you got your money's worth. So I'm not going to let you go immediately. I want us to have a brief dialogue about this, but I think more profoundly, we've had a number of presenters talk to us about tech. We are part of an InsurTech, and I just wanted to kind of stir the pot a little bit and ask you to comment as a way of reflecting on what he had to say, but actually beyond him, the people that have come our way over the life of this cohort. So I have a couple questions for you to, any one of you can respond to, and if you don't respond in person, just at least reflect on some of these. Number one, tech. What is it, if you are to take the different facets of tech at play in InsurTech, what would be 2 or 3 main challenges for tech adoption around InsurTech on our continent? And I ask that purposefully because I don't imagine that any one of you is satisfied with the coverage adoption around the continent, let alone your own country. But if you were to look at what you do and you look at it in the context of all Africa and you're riding on tech, what kind of problems would you have to solve to really drive an insurtech across the continent. If you want to comment, that's wonderful. If you just want to think about it some, please do.
Yeah, so
mhm.
can you hear me?
Yes, please.
All right. So I think across, okay, speaking from Nigeria, right? I think the very first problem from my experience that we have is, first of all, the product. The products that we have, the products that we have are not a reflection of our economy. They are not a reflection of what we actually need, right? The products we have are just copy and paste. Somebody just saw something in the Western world, brings it over to Africa and says, oh, that's how it's been done in the Western world. So, okay, Africa also should start doing it like that, right? So, in my own opinion and in my experience, I think we need to first of all sit down as Africa and first of all stop this copy and paste thing, right? And we need to start looking at solutions abroad and start domesticating them to our own needs, right? You do not, even in America, right? People earn salaries. Some earn salaries every 2 weeks. Some earn salaries every month. They pay for auto insurance on a monthly basis. At least majority of car owners that I met with pay for auto insurance every month. But here in Africa, it is just in fact, I don't even think there are insurance companies in Nigeria that actually do like a monthly car auto insurance premium payment. Probably some insurtech do, right? But it's just probably that's just of recent, maybe late last year or early this year, right? That people have started re-engineering stuff. You don't expect someone earning salary on a monthly basis to come and pay auto insurance on an annual basis or on an half-yearly basis or on a quarterly basis. It makes no sense, right? People are not going to buy. People are going to look for other alternatives, right? You don't expect someone who earns salary and spends 70% of his monthly income on food, rent, clothing to come and pay for comprehensive auto insurance out of the remaining 30%. It will not work. It will not happen. So my own experience and disposition is that we need to first of all re-engineer our product. That's the first thing. If we are talking about adoption, guys, I mean, insurance companies needs to first re-engineer product. When we're done re-engineering product, then we'll go into re-engineering distribution, right? Part of our distribution will entail education. We educate people about what we're doing, and of course, also find new ways of distributing this product. The current way we distribute product in Africa is through agents and brokers. Agents and brokers can just, I mean, they can only go a mile or 2 miles, right? But with the use of technology, somebody in Damaturu can download a mobile app and just start using, right? So we need to, first of all, the chain is re-engineer our product, re-engineer our distribution, then re-engineer our claims process. So I like to see claims like when you deposit your money in the bank. When you deposit your money in the bank and you want to go and cash out the money in the bank, you don't get to the bank and the bank manager is telling you, I don't know when you will get your money. Once the bank manager is telling you, I don't know, once the bank manager is telling you they don't know when you will get your money, that's a red flag. You withdraw all of your money from that bank and you move somewhere else. So I want to see claim in such a way that if I fall into an auto crash, I know within 3 days my claim is going to be settled. That's a timeline that I can work with as a car owner, right? That's a timeline I can talk to my mechanic. Oh, don't worry, in 3 days you'll be settled to be able to fix my car, and everybody moves on like that. But this open-ended claims process where everybody's just dilly-dallying, no one is held to any turnaround time. I mean, it's just we're just gonna be doing the same thing and expecting a different result, which will not happen. So from my experience from the Western world and Africa, I found out that Africa, we need to first of all re-engineer our product, re-engineer our process, re-engineer our claim process as well. So I think that will be my take for now. Thank you.
Thank you. I look, you've lit up the whole group. Yeah, please. Temitope, you have comment? Or Damalo? Temitope, you're on mute. Okay. Oh, that was him. That was. What about Damalo? So please go ahead. You seem to have a comment. Damola.
Yes, hi. I'll go after Temitope.
Yeah, Temitope. Please go ahead. You can't hear you.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I love your question because it's a very important question regarding the use of tech in insurance. You know, there is a lot of conversation around if insurance is, the adoption level of insurance, if the products we have, like the person that spoke before me was saying, if the products are, tailored enough for the market, right? But there's already a lot of information out there, that people who want to subscribe to one insurance plan or want to buy insurance, they don't know how to make sense of. For example, let me talk specifically about health insurance, for example, right? Prices are wild, you can have prices here, prices there, but people being able to unknot exactly the benefits, the specific benefits, it's very difficult, right? The reliability of the provider, a lot of things that come into play with respect to insurance. The buyer is completely lost. So I think we need to apply tech to making sense of insurance information out there for people, right? We need to dumb it down to the basics for them. There was a time I traveled abroad and I had an issue, health. I had travel insurance already bought, all right? But to be able to access that travel insurance for the emergency I had while traveling, it was too difficult because beyond the layer of saying buy insurance, they put so many roadblocks that you can't actually, it's difficult for you to actually unknot, for you to, to make sense of, for you to actually take advantage of that insurance that you bought while traveling. If before I bought it, if I could be able to make sense of the information among 50 providers who offer travel insurance, if I could be able to do that, I would know which one to buy, because this person makes it easy for me to take advantage of this if I ever need to. Right? So while we're building insurance products, we need to help our customers to make sense of the information we are pushing out, the products we are streamlining or complicating or whatever we are trying to do. They are lost. We need to understand that they are very, very lost. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think that's a very good point too. Very good point.
Okay. Hi.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
Tamala? Yes.
Yes.
Tamala.
Yes. So I'm not going to talk so much around specifics because I mean we have at least 10 startups who are trying to solve for the space, right? What
Yes.
I would just want to say is, I mean, the reason why uh, insurance today on the continent in different countries uh, is seeming ripe for disruption is because of many of these challenges that we are seeing, right? And that's the reason why this accelerator program is existing. And we are saying, hey, bring how do you think we can change some of these things? I just want to mention that while I mean the insurance space is not perfect, and this is an industry that has been a certain way for hundreds of years, right? Change is not going to be immediate. Uh, One reality is that the industry is aware of the fact that things need to change. Things need to be improved. COVID really had just changed everything, right? So one thing that is clear and important for us as startups is that, and I mean, you guys are the ones actually doing the real work, and is just find that solution and collaborate with the industry. It will not be easy, and I mean, some of these things that you are mentioning, I hope that NICOM is in the room as well. But then, you know, in all of these engagements, the regulator is part of this. I mean, at this program, so they're also hearing some of these things. They are aware of these things, and it's the reason why they're saying, "Hey, BimaLab, come and let's improve." Right. So there's a place for us to also be somewhat a bit patient, right?
Mm.
The industry is not going to change overnight as regards what it has been doing for a long time, right? The reality of the banking space, right, uh, is different today because it's not because it changed overnight, but it was a conscious, a constant change, right? So we need you guys as the innovators, right, to come into the space and say, let's do it this way, let's change it this way. And I mean, it's definitely connected to the point that Kobe did mention earlier around, okay, you can start off as when he was responding to Shion, start off as you know, perhaps maybe an MGA, or you know, using the broker model, and then eventually becoming an insurer, right? Look at Lemonade. They didn't start off as an insurer, right? Because you are coming in from outside, you are bringing the innovative mindset, and so when you are eventually becoming an insurer, I mean, within that journey, even before you get an insurer, you are get to the point where you're collaborating with the insurance and say, hey, let's actually even create products together. Let's do something different, right? That way, you know, you are bringing something different to the market. Becoming an insurer, it means that you are now even creating a new product that has the customer at the center. So back to your thoughts around, okay, the products that we have in the market now are not fit for our reality. So
Mm.
there's that
Mm.
opportunity to also create this product, carrying the customer, making the customer the center of it. And I agree with you. You know, some of these things were okay. This is how it's done in the UK. Let's just use it here. It might have worked. Well, you can. I mean, some people tell you it has worked. Some people tell you it has not worked. Some the people that will tell you it has not worked will say it does not work because it's just 1% in Nigeria, for example, in penetration. In Africa, maybe about 3%, right? So, but it's a continuous thing, and uh, perhaps maybe the insurance industry is slower than other industries within the financial space, but then there is need for innovation within the space, and we need you guys to be able to come and say, okay, this area of the space, we can solve for it. You be willing to learn. You need to challenge the insurers because, hey, we have been doing it this way. Why should I change? It has worked. At least I post a profit every year, right? So uh you have to help them understand that that profit you can make more, you can make more impact, right, and things like that. So that's what I just wanted to mention. And then for Asime, I know that your question, I know I didn't get your question, but I know the comments were around how tech is disrupting the
Yeah.
actuary space and the likes, right? So um, I had a privilege of speaking with someone from South Africa, Adi. So his company is virtual actuary, right? So they leverage. So the model is quite different, right? They have a consortium of actuaries, and they work with uh, insurance companies and companies across the world, within Africa and outside of Africa, and they're able to provide their services to these guys, leveraging technology and doing things differently from how you see that, okay, this is how an actuary would work, right? So perhaps maybe I can also connect you with them. But then also, I mean, what is key is that, I mean, in all of that, we are building, looking at all of these technologies that helps to grow the space. I mean, I did ask about blockchain. That's something that, you know, a lot of people are looking at and saying, okay, how can we? I mean, there's an issue of trust in the industry generally, right? Blockchain, I mean, the solution is saying that you can take away that trust challenge, right? So, are there things around that space that we can help as the data guys? Are you learn about, you know, all this data analytics and all of these things and leveraging it to do your work better? You know, there are conversations at the point in time, especially during the COVID, around actuaries, and saying that maybe these data guys are coming to take the jobs of actuaries, right? And you know, you're just laughing about it, you know, because I don't think that's possible, right? But then it's actually bringing up a point around the skills are changing, you know, the needs are changing, and what the demands from the insurer themselves are changing, because new things are coming up. Even as a local insurer, they're going to be asking, say, why is this way? They might not know that with technology they can solve, get the answers to these questions. But then if you're coming in and saying, okay, this is my solution, I've built this XYZ, and this is the capability, leveraging technology, and you're in business, right? So technology definitely is an enabler to doing all of these things. And I mean, I just wanted to say that, I mean, we need you guys to help to drive the change that we want to see in this space. And I mean, collaboration definitely is key. And let's see how it goes. Like Tunde
Yeah.
Salako is saying, you know, just throw things at the wall. Let's throw it at the wall and see which one will stick. Right, so yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I took some notes. Maybe one or two more comments. Jo
Can I
had a
speak?
question. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
comfort.
yeah, please go.
Okay, yeah, so I think it was the last speaker who said something around NICOM. So I would like to bring this back home. I'm in Nigeria. Yeah, so now, so beyond NICOM, the regulatory body, I think at this point it is not even late for this to happen in exploring that technology adoption and regulation. So beyond NICOM, I'm going to say that there is also the NCC, you know, and their regulations around with the telecos and all. So there ought to be some sort of conversation going on between NICOM, NCC on this program. Can there be that kind of conversation happening? Because even if NICOM is willing to reach a compromise where they say, okay, you know what, for the purpose of this penetration, for the purpose of the success stories we have seen happen in other African countries and other countries globally, right? We are willing to do X, Y, Z for this to happen, but it's going to be a kind of cosmetic treatment, or right, rather than treating the problem from the root. So beyond NICOM, I just wanted to highlight that NCC
Thank
is
you.
there. Yeah,
And
yeah, in Nigeria.
so for someone like me who is not very familiar with the acronyms, NCC, what is that?
Okay, it's like that's our communications National
Oh, regulate.
Communications Commission. Yeah, the
Yeah.
regulatory body for yeah communications.
And they play a role in the insurance side, or because they basically they are more in
when it comes, yeah, when it comes to the tech parts of insurance and even fintech solution, they have some regulations. Even CBN also have some sort of regulations, that would hinder this kind of that would stop this solution to work from working.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, a roundtable discussion should happen. That would be my recommendation from the BimaLab side.
That's interesting. Comfort, you have some words of comfort for us on this?
I just spoke.
Yes.
Oh, you just spoke. Okay, you are the one. Okay, then last.
I have a quick comment. I agree with all the previous speaker. I think one of the key issue that I see first is the suitability of product for sure. It's something. Even in the West, things are changing. Uber, electric cars, Tesla filed to have an insurance company because they want to be able to provide directly insurance company to people buying Teslas and give all the credit that is needed because they have a lot of data related to how the people drive. They can do more predictive analytics in terms of pricing. So one of the key issue I see in Africa from somebody that is from Africa and travel between the two continents, the three continents actually, Europe, America, and Africa, is that most of the time we in Africa lack the kind of the entrepreneurship mentality that we believe in something and we go for it. Like you take, for example, M-Pesa in Kenya was basically the first, first in the sector, but we haven't had the push to establish M-Pesa as the leader in electronic money. So within the industry as well, a lot of education need to happen. I'm familiar with also the French-speaking region, the FANAF region in the insurance sector. Some of the insurance executives in the space also lack a lot of significant education, and I think the regulator have a significant role to play if we want to take the industry to the next level. For example, the insurance product, you cannot do anything if you don't have the data. If you don't have the data, the only thing that you have to do is to take data in a similar market, adjust it to the local, the way you can, and use back testing to adjust assumptions. But the thing is, we need to build this infrastructure in terms of gathering data and analyzing the data to be able to fine tune and make sure we actually price for what we use. Because when you don't have the, as an actuary, when you don't have the detail of the cover, the loss history of the coverage that you're trying to provide. If it's a bundle with other coverage, there's nothing you can do but give a higher price and then only use experience to adjust. So the regulator, government need to make a significant effort in building up this infrastructure, making sure we have the skills we need and the tools we need to be able to better price the product, so that customer can have access to the data related to their policies. So if you renew your policy, you're not happy because you have a big increase, the company can show you why. The company can show you with data that, look, this is your profile, this is the average profiles the average profile is similar to you, and this is your loss history, this is what the average is, and this is why you have a higher premium. I think it will eliminate a lot of this mistrust that we see if one insurance company can have the data to do a better job, and also they can find a way to actually share some of these data to the insurer so that the insurer see the details behind it. Because at the end of the day, insurance company do not know exactly how much it's going to cost at the time of the sale. So you have to do estimate upfront.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
pray that everything comes through later on. So with more data, you can fine tune, you can present, you can demonstrate, and you can use a lot of the. If for lack, if you don't have enough innovation, company also can innovate, can have product that return premium back either at discount, use more like a like we use more like a mutual insurance companies, use a lot of a lot of a posteriori rating. So you do a pricing a priori, and then if the experience hold, the premium stays. If the experience is less, you have a discount for your renewal, for example. So I think that there's a lot of things that company can do, but typically the people running the company lack the knowledge, the expertise to do those, to have those calls. And sometimes they are not interested when you approach them to help them. They see as a way for them, as a way for you to you come and remove their margin for.
Yeah.
So sometimes you come to help and
Interesting.
they treat you as the villain. So I think regulator has a big role in terms of making sure that insurance company return premium when the experience is low and demonstrate how the price structure is adequate. So regulator have a lot to do in making sure those companies get up to speed in terms of getting the skills to make sure the customers are happy.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
that's my 2 cents. But I think
Thank you.
I see the reason when the other speaker indicated most of the effect. At the end of the day, the impact of all this is that nobody trusts the insurance company, and then nobody want to take a shot as saying, oh, I put my money in the bank versus I pay a policy, pay for my policy. So many people will say, I put my money in the bank.
In the bank, yeah. It's a the question has kind of drifted in a direction that I sometimes think about, and when you listen to us and then you actually look at the numbers, one cannot escape that reality. 2%. This is the financial product. Do we believe that Africans don't care about finance? That's not true. We do care about finance. But why is it that the numbers are so low? I think part of it is understanding the product as a truly financial product. The other part is people cannot afford the product that we're offering. I usually think about a smartphone. There was a lot of discussion around very few penetration of smartphones. But if you take a smartphone as an illustration, how many people in Africa would want to have a smartphone? Many people. It's actually a nice toy. But if you take a smartphone and you present it to a business and you say, if you use this device, because of the applications that I've put on there, you can actually make 20% more, 30% more of what you're making today. And you actually demonstrate it to them, more people would buy that smartphone because it actually is contributing to their bottom line. But if you just stand on the side and say, smartphone, low penetration, go buy it, and people don't connect that to actually money that they're going to make, you're going to be out there until the cows come home. So the challenge, I believe, to us all one of the challenges is, as you've aptly put it, people have to understand this as a financial product. They have to understand it from experience, see other people that have actually bought it and seen that it has served them. They've actually made more money or saved money, or they've survived a catastrophe down the road. Until we do those kind of things and they become a part of our experience, we will be creating what most people call white elephants. Lovely ideas, wonderful products with excellent tech. Blockchain is one of them, many others. But the reality is, if you take that product and you give it to the person you intend to give it to, they will never pay you enough to cover the money you are spending on blockchain, for instance. So it has to be really, really relevant. It has to fit in the people's financial structure. Otherwise, it's not a financial product. And if it's not a financial product from the standpoint of the person you want to sell it to, you're gonna waste a lot of time. That was my soapbox for the night. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for the work that you do. We have a big job for to move the numbers from 2% to 5%, given the growth rate in on the continent, number of people. But I think we are